2,000-year-old text, 2,000-year-old written scriptures reveal the secret to a happy life. 2,000-year-old text message. Imagine getting a text message tomorrow. You open your phone and there's a text message from 2,000 years ago that reveals to you the secret of a happy life and a happy marriage. A text message from 2,000 years ago. Hello, this is John Hauser with my YouTube channel, Free Advice from 76 Years. And I say that because I am hitting age 76. And I want to share with you a message that you'll find probably on the bookshelf in your house. Or you'll find it in the bookshelf of most homes, but most people don't know it's there. It's a secret. It's revealed truth. And it's a revealed truth, a text message that's over 2,000 years old. Text. Here it is. I'm going to read it to you. And this is the secret to having a happy life and a happy family. It says, "Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, that he might sanctify her, having cleansed her by the washing of water with the word, so that he might present the church to himself in splendor, without spot or wrinkle or any such things, that she might be holy and without blemish. In the same way," here it comes, "in the same way husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself." Here's a text message from 2,000 plus years ago. "For no one ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes, just as Christ does the church, because we are members of his body. Therefore, a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. For this mystery is profound, and I am saying that it refers to Christ and the church. However, let each one of you love his wife as himself, and let the wife see that she respects her husband." So there you have it. You know, we get text messages all the time. These smartphones are so smart. As a matter of fact, sometimes I think my smartphone that I'm talking to you right now is smarter than I am. It seems to be. But here's the message. And this is an ancient text revealing the message. And the message is very simple and yet extremely profound. Think of how life in America would change if husbands would do the right thing. If husbands would man up and be the man that God intended them to be. Let's take a look at some notes that I've got right here. The ancient text teaches husbands, love your wives. Husbands must make a decision to love their wives. This is a decision that has to be made not only at the moment you say, "I do," and not only at the moment of the honeymoon, which is always, so blissful and so happy and such a wonderful experience, but they have to make that decision 90 days, 90 years after they said, "I do," because marriage is a long-term commitment. A long-term commitment. My wife and I have grown children. We have grown grandchildren. To put that in perspective, our grandchildren are 29 and 30. Marriage is a long-term commitment. You don't get unhappy and say, "Well, I'll go find somebody else." And you don't get unhappy and say, "That's it, I quit." No, it's a long-term commitment. And a man has to decide to love his wife and love her every day till the end of life. That's what the ancient scriptures teach. So husbands must make a commitment to love their wives. Husbands must express that love constantly. You can't tell your wife, "I love you" today and never tell her that again. To me, that's That's really funny because I have met so many people that have said, he never tells me. He never tells me that he loves me. Or he never sends me a note or sends me a card or takes me to lunch. And the husband will say, I've had the husband say to me, well, I told her I loved her when we got married. I told her I loved her, when we first got started on this thing. Why do I have to repeat myself? Because women need assurance. Women need to know, a woman needs to know every single day that her husband loves her. Not just when you first get married. I mean, my wife and I have been married so long, and yet, to this day, we tell each other that we love each other. And we send each other notes and cards and do little things. I take her to lunch. I take her to lunch once a week, whether she needs it or not. And I found out a long time ago that a cheeseburger can solve a lot of problems. Okay, anyhow, husbands must express that love. Husbands must express that love physically. And I'm not just talking about the marital relationship. I'm talking about that hug and that kiss and, that touch that shows that you love that person. And husbands have to express that love in their actions. Your actions need to show that you love your wife. I know you come home from work tired and grumpy. I know because I used to do the same thing. I retired when I was 68 years old, and in spite of the hours that I was working and the hours that my wife was working when we were both working, because many times we would pass each other in the morning. I'd be going to work and she'd be coming home. My wife was a nurse. But we still took time each week to go to lunch, take walks, and spend time together, and plan vacations. And just spend some good quality time with just the two of us. Yeah, just the two of us. And how can it be just the two of us? Well, one of the things that we started doing many years ago is when we go out to eat, we leave our cell phones in the car. We learned early on that if it was going to be just the two of us, we had to leave our phones in the car. You can go into any restaurant right now and you'll see husband on one side, wife on the other side, and the husband is there looking at his phone and the wife is there looking at her phone and the children looking at their phones, and they're not communicating. Got to stop doing that. Got to put those phones down and communicate. And one of the things that we do when we have a family reunion or a Thanksgiving dinner, we request all family members to leave their phones out of the Thanksgiving family dinner. Why? Because when I'm talking to my grandson, I don't want to see my grandson over there doing all this stuff on his phone. I want to talk to him. And husbands and wives have got to do the same thing. When we go out to eat, we leave our cell phone in the car. That's what you've got to do. You've got to spend time alone. And the same thing's true at home. The cell phones should not be in the bedroom. Your electronic devices should not be in the bedroom. When you and your wife are alone, you need to be alone. How much plainer can it be, right? Okay, anyhow, what else? Husbands are to take the lead in expressing love to their families. If you look at that passage that I read, which is found in Ephesians chapter 5, starting at verse 25, you'll find that the man is designated as the head of the house, and it's the man's responsibility to express love to the wife, and then the wife expresses love to the children express love back to their mother, and the mother expresses love back to the father. This is the order that the ancient text represents. Okay, a mature, strong man will recognize this and love his wife, and in turn, the children will love their mother, and the family will love him. Yeah, this is the answer right here. Okay, now, I'm going to give you some tips, a couple of quick tips on how to show your wife that you love her. First, you've got to say it verbally. You've got to verbally say, I love you. And I know this can be hard for a lot of men. A lot of men have trouble expressing love. I actually have a close friend, I won't name I won't tell you his name. I won't even tell you his profession, because if you heard his profession, you'd go, well, that's really odd. But this gentleman apparently has trouble expressing love to his wife. And his wife has even told me and my wife that the husband doesn't say, I love you, doesn't express love in any way, shape, or form. And yet he expects his wife to be loving and submissive. It's up to the husband. It's the husband's responsibility to do this. So how can we do it? Well, first you got to tell your wife that you love her. You've got to say, I love you. And then what do you do? How about a note or a card? You know, recently our anniversary came up, and I went and stopped at one of the local stores, and I bought my wife an anniversary card. Just a little thing, a couple of dollars, bought her an anniversary card, and gave her the card. And then we went out to eat. And when Mother's Day rolled around, we went out for a Mother's Day dinner. Guess what? When Father's Day rolls around, you've got to spend that time together. You've got to verbally tell each other, hey, after all these years, I still love you. But here's some more tips. These are free tips. Okay. Find out what your wife likes. Does your wife like to have a foot rub? Sometimes when we're watching TV, my wife will put her feet up in my lap and say, please rub my feet. My wife was a nurse for many years, and her feet did hurt. A foot rub. How about a head rub? Sometimes people like a good scalp massage. A back rub. How about a card, a note, a call, a date? Yes, here we are, 75, 76 years old, and we still go on dates. Last week, we took the little red Mustang out and drove to a town we've never been to before. We found a little restaurant we'd never eaten at before and had a date. You can do that. So, what you heard me express earlier was a Bible verse out of the book of Ephesians, and that is some Bible study. This is John Hauser with my YouTube channel, free advice from 76 years, saying please like and support and share this video with your friends. If you don't have any friends, then hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll be your friend. And you can communicate with me through my email address or through the like and subscribe and comments. Thanks very much.